Never late, and for the first time since I can remember, I've overslept. Well, it's me, it's Johnyboy. This is the patio that a lot of you guys out there have been waiting to see. It looks absolutely fantastic, and it's nice and flat. But what's happened is that we used a grey grout, and it's not coming up quite grey. If you look at that now, in fact, when it dries, it does look white in places, and I believe that the reason for this was that on the day we did it, it was very hot, and we did spray probably too much water. Well, I did rather too much water in the joint. Okay, and as a result of that, we've got this wicking effect now of the moisture coming back through, and I did spray it over thinking that was going to be okay, and I think it was panic more than anything, and I sprayed it and it's diluted the colour, the intensity of the colour. So I'm accountable for what I do, and now unfortunately it's a wet day here in Twickenham, and we've got to get this out. Well, we started, and as you can see, it's starting to come out pretty easy, you know. So we're doing this with a 9-inch cutter, so that's coming out, but we've got a fair bit to do. The only thing is, it's a wet day today, and I don't know if we're going to be able to point it as you know, on the same day. But there we go. It is what it is. So we'll get on with it. Well, here we are. Here we are. Practice what you preach. It's so important to wear one of these. Even the dust is being kept down by the wet. Keep it on. Well, I'm still doing things wrong. As you notice, I've had to take the guard off the little cutter, and simply because I wanted to go a little bit deeper. I just didn't want to go over the surface and take it out. I want to go nice and deep, make sure we got a full bed in there. You can see the patio it looked great. It was just the colour and maybe a little bit of efflorescence in places. I don't know whether it was efflorescence or whether it was just the wicking coming up, migrating from the bottom coming up. But the fact is, I'm here, I'm being held accountable. I've got a mask on, okay, and I've just sent my friend now to go and get some glasses, because I should be wearing glasses. The last thing I want to be doing is down on this job and losing my eyesight, which is not good at all. So that's that part done. That area there is nearly as big as this area, so we've got to just go through nice and steady and take it out. That's all there is to it. Well, this is, excuse me, I've got a mask at the moment, and that's the thing when you're filming. Got this ECD 115, it's a ruby. It's a cracking little tool. All these, there's diamond on here, so this cleans up the face as well. So if we were to compromise the face of the porcelain, but we're not, it's all good. So let's get on with it. Well, I've had glasses and I've had a mask, and I stopped using that grinder with no guard because it was just dangerous, and I don't recommend to do this at home. Sometimes we do things because we do, and you know, should I have gone back to the van and got the guard? Yes, I should have, but now we're not using it no more. We've cut it all out, okay, and we've gone over, we've checked with a small grinder as well with the guard on, and now we're going to pressure wash everything off and let it dry in the sun, and hopefully today we'll be able to point it with our grout. Well, there you are. I'm just so sorry, and I apologise for not showing you the technique how we put the grout between the joints, but we have had a real crazy day here today. The weather has not been kind to us this morning. It was raining when we were cutting out using electrical equipment, and then when we started grouting, the rain stopped, and then what we had to do was that we had a lot of heat, a lot of hot weather came, and again I was a bit worried that it would turn out like the last time. Let's just take that pipe out now, because that's got bits. This is what happens. You do all this hard work and then you leave sand on it like that. My God. So let's turn that off. Take that over here. Right. Okay. Well, look, fence needs clean, as you can see. But what we actually did the last time, I made a fatal mistake by giving it a spray and slowing the curing process down, and I think that's what made it worse. And I think the colour faded then as a result of me doing that stupid thing by spraying it over. But here we are, it's done now. We've used the Mate on it this time, and it's black, but as you can see when you look at the joints, it is drying grey, but not like it did before. It went virtually white nearly, which is a bit annoying. My fault, my mistake, but I'm accountable for what I do, and it's down to me. So here we are. I welcome all your feedback. The next thing we have to do on this job is this existing grass has to be leveled. We put the concrete plinth all the way around. That's good to go, and I've told the customer we'll put the grass right. The only thing is that the shed itself it's not quite right. It's too low and it needs to be taken off the ground, and they've paid a lot of money for it, and it's going to rot unless we put some timber bearers underneath and get it off the ground and get it to the right height. Well, there you are. That's it. And as I said, all your feedback is welcome. Just be kind. Don't be too hard. Not necessarily on me. I can take that bit, but no comments about the hair or what shovel I use. No, it's absolutely fine. But just no abuse. It's just not good at all. These vlogs and these videos are about everybody learning, so hopefully this is going to turn out right. There you are. You can see down there, it's looking good, and you can see me. Feedback welcome. Don't forget mine, subscribe. Well, that's it for now. We're going to let that dry, and like I said, one of the questions you're going to be asking is what went wrong, and not quite sure what it was. I thought it was going to be a dark grey, and it never came out dark grey, and then it came out quite light, and then there was a bit of efflorescence, I think, in there. Maybe we diluted the colour when I gave it a bit of a spray, but the thing is, it wasn't up to scratch. And these are excellent clients. They're brilliant. They're lovely to work with. They're real nice people, and even if they wasn't, I'd make sure that with anyone the job is how it should be by the time we finish, even if some customers, not like these here, they're fantastic, that are a bit funny sometimes. So now on with the grouting.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just talking to Andy about working in these front gardens, because they're not too big, but I like what they've done there. Fantastic, connection and unity with the style of the house. Very modern, contemporary, and then they've got this contemporary paving there. It looks really nice, and nice to work on the front. Beautiful. Well, I actually don't like doing videos in front of people. I don't mind doing it on YouTube, but just stopped to get some food now, and absolutely knackered, worn out, burnt out, but it's done. I welcome all your opinions on that. Like I said, keep it nice, keep it pleasant. There's no need for abuse, but it's done, and it's come up good, but it's still gone from the anthracite, which is supposed to be black, and it's still gone grey now, so that's the colours, that's how they go, but hopefully they'll be happy now. Well, I'm back in the van now. I felt really awkward filming myself and talking in services then, and just want to say, you know, we went up there and it didn't go right before. We've put it right now, and for whatever reason it was, whether it was I got the colour wrong, but it wasn't consistent. That was the thing about it. When we put the grout in, it wasn't consistent, and that was no fault of the manufacturers. It was my fault, and you know, because I was concerned about the drying too fast, and it was a real hot day mine. That was just a bad call. That was my fault, and you know, I sprayed it, and I shouldn't have done it. I should have just left it, but I was worried about it cracking. But the fact is that we're accountable for what we do, and I went up, and they're over the moon that we've even just turned up and never argued about redoing it. And yeah, it's cost me money and it's cost me time, but the one thing that I haven't compromised is my integrity, and that's the thing about it. So we've cleaned it. We'll get back up there now, and we'll give it a good clean down. There'll be a bit of a dusty bloom on it all over. We've gone over and over it, sponging it, even with a washboard. I'm so sorry that I didn't show you any technical ways of the way we were putting it in. I don't think you probably even want to see that, but we got it in anyway. That was the main thing. So let's hope, fingers crossed, that it turns out good, because they're good people, and even if they weren't good people, when you pay good money, you've got to have it right. So I'm going to go now, because I've got these to sort of take care of now. So see you soon, and thanks for watching, and remember, subscribe, do it, or else.